Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the JQ Edge. I am Dr. Brian and absolutely thrilled that you are here joining us. So, this morning, a couple of things I'd love to share with you, which is sometimes a mistake can be awesome. Sometimes a mistake can be awesome. So, as we spoke yesterday, chair of joy, chair of joy. It's the reset, it's the focus, it's getting you and your brain to work together rather than letting emotions run over you. So, I said yesterday something like sit, breathe, feel, think, ugh, or as my mom would say, oi. So, it is not that. Why isn't it sit, breathe, feel, think? Because when you go with your emotions, they can run away when there's a lot of things going on. And we've all experienced that. So let's memorize this. I practiced last night and several times this morning. Of course, I use my reset throughout the day. It is sit, breathe, think, feel. Sit. I'm sitting right now. If you can't sit, that's okay. If you're driving, keep your eyes open, of course. Breathe. Now, the best way to breathe is not in through your mouth. To get your neurons reset simply by breathing up through your nose and holding it about 10 seconds. I still haven't breathed out. Think, what's the best decision I can make right now? What's most important right now? Now, here's what happens in real life. You think, you ask the question, feelings come up. Without the reset, the feelings of angst, anger, frustration, runaway train, overwhelm, whatever it takes, we make a snap decision. But when we do the reset and you ask your brain what's to do best, and then your feelings reset, it is not magical. It is science. Let me say that again. It's not magic, it's science. And at joyely.com, we've been doing years and years and years of study. And Cheryl Lynn, our CEO and visionary, did years and years and years of science studies and research. And now we have clinical trials going on with PhDs and therapists. So here's what happens, just as a reminder. Our emotions are all over the place, and our brain makes decisions in milliseconds. Milliseconds. Hard to even notice that's going on with our bodies in milliseconds. However, when our emotions are all over the place, running through our body and our brain, they are running around with no signals, signs, or direction. And joyly.com and the JQ Edge gives you the signals and the roadmap, signs, signals, warnings, go here, turn there, get here this way. And that has now been proven in clinical studies. And we'd love to welcome you to jump in and try coaching with us. We'll be talking about that next week. Now, here's what happens. The beauty, the greatness, the wonderfulness of this show, any podcast, any coaching, any program you go to is we're doing one thing at a time, one thing at a time. So, what is real life like? What is real life like? Sometimes you get woken up and you're immediately thrust in crisis. So this morning, grandkids were screaming, banging on the side door by my bedroom, dog barking, my little corgi. Well, the big dog got out. Then when I opened the door to get the big dog, because he usually doesn't go far, my corgi ran out. Then someone yelled, "The website's down. I can't get online." And my first thought was, the Joyly website's down. That doesn't make any sense. We've got a team of people. They're on it all the time. The website's up. Oh, the internet's down. Okay, can we use our, well, just my point is dozens and dozens and dozens of things happen in a moment. It's not one thing. So I literally grabbed my corgi, put her inside, and I shut the door and stayed outside. And instead of sitting, I stood and I did sit, breathe, think, feel. What's the first thing to figure out? Now, I know what the kids were thinking. Who left the dog door open? And I came back in and said, what's most important right now? Get dressed for school. Get your lunch bags ready. What do you mean the website's down? My grandkids don't have a website. No, they meant the internet was down. Well, they knocked over the router when they were trying to catch the big dog from going out. So we just plugged it back in. The point being, all of you have the power to slow things down. Now, if you're police, if you're a paramedic, you are trained to make instant decisions, but you've practiced over and over and over and over, and you know what you're going to do when there's a wound, when there's an injury, when there's an incident. It's high stress, yet you're equipped to handle it. You can still do sit, breathe, think, feel, and ask, what's the best decision right now? How do I direct the team? How do I direct the crisis around me? It takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds. So I'd love to show you something now and share the screen with all of you. So let me do that. Please feel free to put comments on our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, and or here if you are joining us live on the internet. So let's go back right here. And yesterday we talked about the Navigator, and I will put the link where you can take the Navigator quiz for free to get a snapshot of where you are. But what I'd love to highlight here for you is when I say the old way, and I'm a PhD in clinical psychology, so I'll say the old way dates back from the 30s all the way up through 1989, 1990. Emotions are good or bad. Control your emotions. And some feelings are wrong. How many of you have heard this? It's the number one complaint between men and women. Feel free to put that in the chat or throw a comment on YouTube or on our LinkedIn page. What's the number one complaint between men and women? It is men don't listen. We try to jump in and fix. That's women's complaint. Men complain. I don't even know where to start. So here's the deal. This is what happens. Men and women brains are wired a little differently. So women think intuitively first, process emotions and make a decision. Men think logically. So women say to men, you don't listen to my feelings. So what's the point? The old way, how many of you men watching or listening right now have said this to a spouse, a girlfriend, a daughter? Ready? You shouldn't feel that way. So a woman says, I feel bad, mad, angry, frustrated. You shouldn't feel that way. I'm already feeling that way. And if you're like me, women you've said that to, there's an immediate minor explosion of more emotion. Feelings are not good or bad, they just are. It's really critical that we master this. And that's the beauty of the JQ Edge and joyely.com. It gives you the wherewithal and the new habits where your emotions are signals. And unlike the old model where you have no roadmap to follow, you're just wandering around and picking, we understand, help you understand where your emotions are coming from and what they mean. And all feelings have value. There's a reason you get anxious. There's a reason you're feeling upset. There's a reason you're feeling angry. And when we tackle solutions to that, and we can do it in multiple steps, we can teach you to chew gum and walk at the same time. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can handle multiple things when you reset. Sit, breathe, think, feel. Now, we got a lot of comments yesterday. Can't thank you all enough for sharing. your thoughts. And the main question was, is that all there is? Sit, breathe, think, feel, and everything will be great? No, we have an emotions map that shows you where the emotions are that you're feeling. Where are they on the map? Are you active? Are you inactive? Are you pushing your feelings down? It's a whole system. So we have lots to share with you, but we want to create the habit right now, the rest of this week. Reset. You can handle it. You're built for that. And we're going to give you the exact roadmap to follow with where you need to go. So I will put in the chat the link to take this quick navigator quiz. So the old way, you're stressed at work, your chest is tight, your brain's running away, and you say, I shouldn't feel this way, I need to calm down, and you can't because the stress builds. You're at your wit's end, you're on your last nerve ending. For instance, this morning, my first thought was, why did the kids leave the door open? Why did they let the dog out? Why did they think the internet site, the website was down when it was just the internet? Sit, breathe, think, feel, sit, breathe, think, feel. And I just did a reset. Okay, what's the best thing to do right now? Get the dog. Next best thing, get the kids ready to go. Next best thing, sit, breathe, think, feel, because I've got to reset again. And you know what happens when there's a crisis or an emergency. So, same moment on the old way, when you open up your navigator and it shows safety is low. That makes sense. Your body's on high alert. You take 60 seconds to breathe and adjust your posture, feel grounded, reset, presence. And as I mentioned yesterday, your presence is how are you showing up? How many of you have focused on the reset and you can't get there and you wonder what's next, or it's all just coming at you, you make a decision or you try to solve it. What do the other people around you do? To me, nowadays, it's kind of funny. So I want to give you a quick tip before we end. Very, very important, along with sit, breathe, think, feel. Please don't do what I used to do for years as a teenager and a young adult. When the anxiety and tension would be high and someone was trying to give me feedback or correct me, I got so nervous I would chuckle. So people get angry when you laugh and they feel like it's an important moment and they're already angry. So I give you permission, suppress the laugh, bite your tongue, bite your lip. Presence, how you show up. How many of you, and I'm sure it's many, you've walked into a restaurant, a bank, a business, a building, wherever, and you could feel the negative vibes? That is normal. That tells you that the people running the place they're not focused on presence. They're not focused on the moment. And this is the point I wanted to make today. Besides getting you into the habit of sit, breathe, think, feel, sit, breathe, think, feel, sit, breathe, think, feel, reset one moment at a time. What's the best decision in this moment? That's being present. You can handle any crisis one moment at a time. You can make multiple decisions in a very short period of time, 3 or 4 seconds. When you do it, being present to the moment, being aware of what's going on. When I make decisions, whether getting the dog felt right to the family first or not, whether making sure the internet's up, whether making sure the team needs to have a meeting before we make that critical decision, whether we have to please a customer, we can be present in the moment and ask our brain, what's the best decision to make here? And you will arrive at the right decision. So thank you for joining me today for the JQ Edge. I and our team will see you tomorrow morning at 7:45 Pacific time. Remember, you can catch the replays on YouTube, on LinkedIn at the JQ Edge website or LinkedIn page. Now you can also find it on drbriangrossman.com on LinkedIn. So focus on the moment, sit, breathe, think, feel, reset throughout the day today. And please let us know in comments or drop us a direct message. What was the feedback you got when you were present and focused?